Hello, I'm Lisa Salazar with the Youth Development Department, and welcome to another episode of Protest+Promise. Today our episode will focus on Disability Pride Month, and I'm glad to be joined today by the great folks from Goodwill Southern California. Every month, Protest+Promise will focus on a population of young Angelinos here in the city of LA. I'm joined today by Dr. Luis Castellon, who is the Strategic Partnership Officer for Goodwill Southern California, who will tell us a little bit more about Disability Pride Month and the services that are available through Goodwill Southern California. Luis?
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for having us and for being able to celebrate 32 years of the ADA passing. We're really happy to be here, and I'm representing Goodwill Southern California. I'm the Strategic Impact Officer, and I don't know if your viewers know, but Goodwill is more than just the retail stores. We have programs throughout San Bernardino, Riverside, and Los Angeles counties. We have 13 employment centers plus 6 satellite locations, and we work with a lot of different populations, reentry populations, homeless services, veterans, youth, and our disability services, which is my partner and colleague, our regional director, Heather Tiger Vitella, is going to tell us a little bit more about.
Hi, thank you, Luis. So my name is Heather Tiger Vitella. As Luis said, I'm Regional Director over our Disability Services Programming for LA County here at Goodwill. And everyone here with us today has gone through our Student Services Paid Work Experience program, which is a work-based learning experience. It's 100 hours of paid work experience, focusing on just helping students to build foundational employment skills, gain confidence, self-advocacy skills, motivation, and just really gain exposure and an understanding of work environment, job responsibility, and employer expectations to prepare for future permanent employment.
That's great. That's really great. Thank you for sharing that, Heather. You know, I didn't know that nearly 1 in 5 individuals are folks with disabilities. There's just so many that are needing these services that you all provide. So every month we're going to focus on a youth population here in Los Angeles, and today we're joined by 3 amazing young women, Grace, Nyla, and Daniela, who are here with us to share their perspective, their lived experience. So let's just start off with the question, and please jump in with the responses. I'm not going to call on you. We'll just kind of have a conversation here. The first question is, could you share with us and share with the audience, what are some of the challenges for young people with disabilities in the city here? And that could be like with education or with work or just, you know, kind of day-to-day living. What are some of those challenges, if you wouldn't mind sharing?
I believe that some of the challenges would be not knowing where you belong, because you know as a person that you see yourself that you look different to other students, or that they teach you different, and sometimes you think that you don't belong where you're at. And I think that at school mostly is where all the help is there, and they guide you, and you make friends, and you really start to think about how in reality we're all the same, and we're united.
Got it. Thank you. Nyla or Daniela, would you like to add to that?
For being like mistreated differently and being like kind of left out in like some activities, and like separate from general ed classes.
Got it. Got it. Nyla?
I think socializing is a challenge for some of us. Like interacting with others.
Got it. Got it, got it. What are some things you think the city could be doing more of to assist you in achieving the goals that you have set for yourself, whether they be work-related or education-related or just general living? What are some things the city could be doing more of or do better?
I think the city has really helped a lot, but I think other things that they can do is like seminars or conferences to gather students that are in the same education, like same pathway, and gather the students and give them a couple of lectures or help them out to just to really think about like what you're going to be doing in the future. I believe that if they help more with that, then in the future we would be more prepared for what we will be doing as our jobs, as our career.
Got it. Daniela or Nyla?
I believe this city should give us more therapy sessions. Why for special needs?
Daniela, did you want to add there?
Yeah, I really think they should like focus on like the future, like not like school wise, but like what are we gonna do in life, and like how we're gonna pay bills, and like financial aid, all that stuff.
So like life skills courses, right? Stuff that maybe you don't learn at school. There's not like a class for that, but more life skill classes. So along those lines, you all are participating or completed a training program with Goodwill. What brought you there? Why did you go there? How did you hear about it? And what did you do?
I've heard about it my senior year of high school. My counselor was the one who told me about it, and I really looked into it because ever since I was small, my parents would tell me, oh, because my my disability is physical. So ever since I was small, they said you have to really practice doing your therapy because you don't know like what are you gonna do when you have a job? Like how are you gonna be able to do things? So when I heard about this program, and I heard that, and I realized that it wouldn't actually be very difficult for me since I've been practicing my whole life. So I joined the program, and it was really helpful, and I learned a lot, and I realized that even if my disability is physical, I can still do things, and I can still have a job and get paid.
Can you tell me a little bit about the job that you had?
So I worked at Marshall's, Petco, and CVS.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and the first time I joined Goodwill, it was at Marshall's, and I had to re-rack the clothes, help customer service, get things done from like the back room, and those are things that I would do on the daily. So I learned that even with disabilities, you could still manage to do things, and everyone is helpful. You know, people understand that what you're going through and what you were born with, and there might be some, like a few people that might be rude, but in general, all the people were nice.
That's great. So you have an extensive retail experience, it sounds like.
Yes,
and
yes,
probably
I do.
And probably a lot of customer service skills, having to dealing with customers.
Yes, yes, I do.
That's great. That's great. Nyla, can you tell us about your work experience, the kind of work that you did, where you worked, what you learned from that?
My first job was at Goodwill. My work experience, I did have struggles too.
What were some of your job duties?
I fold clothes, cash register.
So do you feel like you got more experience on the retail side or the customer service side, or maybe cashiering? Did that maybe pique your interest in more like accounting or things like that? What part of that job did you like the most?
Well, I like customer service.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Daniela, it looks like you are in some sort of cosmetology training program right now, but can you tell us about your work experience with Goodwill, and maybe tell us a little bit about the program you're doing right now? Very curious about that.
I worked at Goodwill. It was really fun. Like I learned like how to like stock and look at like expired dates, and then also like fill the milks, and then also I like swept the restrooms and clean. I really like cleaning.
Okay.
And then my second job for like Goodwill, I worked at Hans Cosmetics, a
Okay.
salon. They made me do fold towels, and I blow dried some of the clients' hair.
Oh.
It was really fun. And I just like dust and clean. That's it.
And now you're at
And
school. What are you doing there?
yeah, I'm at Citrus College in California. Right now, I'm taking a class in hairstyling. And my biggest struggle was like I had to repeat an intro class for cosmetology because it was hard because there was a lot of assignments, and like both of the teachers were like down on me because they didn't think that I can pass the class, but I did it again and I passed it.
All right. Congratulations. Persistence. That's really great. That's really great. And maybe your work experience at Hans kind of piqued your interest in cosmetology school, is my guess. And that's really important, that we try different things as we're trying to figure out what it is we want to kind of pursue as a career, right? So congratulations. And you know, sometimes we have to struggle a little bit. Sometimes we fail a little bit. But we just work harder and we ask for help, and folks are there to help us, and then we can overcome those challenges. So, you know, that says a lot about you, Daniela, that you didn't quit and that you kept going. That's really good. Yeah, right on. Heather, maybe you could talk a little bit about the experience you have with some of your other students, and maybe what folks should be aware of in terms of, so let's say I'm an employer out there and I want to create an opportunity for a young person with disabilities. What are some of the things that I should know or be aware of so that I can be supportive and make sure that that young person has a good experience?
Well, from our end, you know, overseeing the program, it's typically my team who goes out and does job development or meets with the employers. And I think one of the most important things, and it's not something that you can really teach, is to keep an open mind. You know, we'd like to partner with you. Here's what we're doing. Here's our program. Maybe just give it a chance. Are you willing to give us a chance? Mm-hmm. And I think employer concerns a lot of times are that that folks with disabilities, youth or adults, might need supervision, or accessibility concerns, worried that they're going to have to adjust or modify their workspace and costs associated with that. And so our job is just really to educate them on ADA, reasonable accommodation, and troubleshoot mm-hmm. things that are often, you know, no cost at all to the employer. And I think really, I mean, I would say that over 90% of the employers that we've connected with to give opportunities to the students that we're serving through paid work experience have continued to partner with us and have asked for additional students, because they've really seen that, you know, all of you and, you know, all of the students that we're serving, you're great workers, and it's great to, you know, I think they've really enjoyed, you know, being that first step, giving someone their first experience into the workplace.
What supports are in place for young people that maybe are having some challenges on the job site? What do they do?
Okay. So in some programs, and again, a lot of work programs as it stands today, just in general, are more so adults who are out of school. Job coaching is something that can be that's a good support for individuals as they're acclimating to the work environment and integrating into the work environment. For where student services paid work experience is unique is that job coaching typically isn't offered or approved through the Department of Rehabilitation. The idea is that they're using natural supports in the work environment. They're making connections with their supervisors and their coworkers, and they're really the ones who are partnering up with them, training them, who they're shadowing, and we've seen great results.
So there's peer support just kind of built into that experience. That's great.
Exactly.
If you young ladies wouldn't mind sharing with us, where do you hope to be in the next 3 to 5 years? What are your kind of career goals? Where do you see yourself in the future? What do you aspire to be?
Well, hopefully I'll be completing or finishing my bachelor's and starting my master's in criminal justice.
Right on.
So that's for me.
So is your goal to be an attorney? You want to be a lawyer, go into law?
No, I want to be a crime scene investigator.
Oh, very cool.
I'm completing my AA degree.
All right, congratulations. That's very cool.
Thank
you.
you.
How about you, Nyla?
I'm hoping to finish school.
Uh-huh.
And I want to grow my business more.
Oh, what kind of business?
I make phone cases. This one has autism on it.
So you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
All right. Self-made. That's amazing. We'll have to talk after because the city has lots of resources for entrepreneurs and folks that want to start small businesses. So I love that. And Daniela.
I would like to be a hairstylist, and also I want to be a speaker for the disabilities. Like I want to teach them how it's okay to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make them happy and inspiring.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, today is your first day in doing that by being a part of the show today and sharing your experiences. We really appreciate that. So I have another question for you all. If you could think back 5 or 10 years when you were younger, what advice would you give to your younger self? Knowing everything that you know now, the services and programs that you've accessed, where you're at, now you've set your career goals, what would you say to your younger self? What advice would you give that younger version of yourself?
I guess I would say that things will turn out to be okay, that things will not be as difficult as my younger little mind thinks. Mm-hmm. I think that I would tell little me that that there will be a lot of resources and a lot of helpful people, and that people will help you accomplish your goals and give you very good advice.
Very good. Nyla or Daniela, what would you say to your younger self? Daniela.
Just keep trying and push through your goals and work hard and don't give up.
Very good.
That's it.
Thank you. Nyla, what would you say to your younger self?
I would say speak up more.
Uh-huh.
Accomplish your goals.
Very good. And what advice would you give to other young adults who might be watching this, who are individuals with disabilities and aren't really sure about what they're gonna do next, or even asking themselves, is it possible for me to get a job? What advice would you have for young people out there in the audience today?
I think I would say that if you really try to look into resources, that everything is possible. Even if you're disabled, everything is possible. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish everything in life.
Daniela or Nyla, advice for other young people out there?
Try new things, like try like doing stuff out of your comfort zone. Like I myself was in color guard. Color guard was not hard. Color guard was so hard. Like I was crying so much, and like it was hard to like toss the flag and like do rifle, but now I can do it.
Excellent, thank you. Nyla, what advice would you have for young people who might be watching this?
When you get shy like me, just ask a friend, a family member, or a loved one to ask for help. I'm looking for trying new things. Just stick with the program.
Very good, very good. Earlier you mentioned that you would have said to your younger self that you would have encouraged your younger self to speak up more, right? And at the Youth Development Department, we value youth voice, and we're doing everything that we can to elevate the voices of young people in policy making, in making decisions about how to invest city dollars into programs and resources. How could we do a better job of bringing the youth voice of young people with disabilities to the table? Do you feel like there's a way for you to share your perspective and give advice on program design and how to invest money right now? And tell me, how can we do that? How can the Youth Development Department do a better job of working with young people with disabilities and understanding what they need specifically?
Definitely some surveys, mostly because sometimes when you're disabled, you really don't want other people to know. So maybe sometimes like do a survey, and really the questions that you will ask there would be like, how can we help you with something that you're dealing with, like physically or mentally, like therapy. And I think things like that would help, or like I said before, a conference, a seminar, or really like get together, maybe get together students with the same disability, that they were born with the same, and really like help them out and help educate them and give them advice to what they're dealing with.
That's really helpful. Thank you. Nyla or Janella?
With the surveys, I really think they should like put like highlight, because sometimes we can't really understand like big words. So like maybe like a picture that would probably help us. But other than that, it's like what she said.
So even like when we're developing survey tools, we should have like a focus group with young people who have disabilities to tell us whether or not the survey even makes sense. Like, are we asking the right questions? Is it easy to understand? Are we using language that's relatable? If I'm understanding you correctly. That's really good to know.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, Nyla? Anything to add to that?
Well, if you can't understand a question or a word, just ask for someone for help.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. You know, lots of folks with disabilities, without disabilities, really struggle with asking for help. So I'm so glad that that has been like one of the themes of your comments today, is like, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to try new things. That's really important. I think it's a really good reminder for all of us. So I want to thank our guests from Goodwill Southern California for joining us today. All young people, regardless of their abilities, should have access to the same opportunities available in this great city. Our department is committed to keeping young people connected and involved in the decision-making process. And remember, young people are not only the future, they are the present. I'm Lisa Salazar, and I want to thank you for watching today.